And it's Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio, and we're down at the Maritime College in Fort Schuyler, New York, and have a chance to talk with one of our favorite coaches, Clayton Kendrick-Holmes, head coach here of the Maritime College, also graduate of the Naval Academy. And Coach, you've had a successful season, won your last two games, and earned your way into a bowl game this weekend, Sunday, 5 o'clock down in Philadelphia at Franklin Field. That's pretty exciting.
It is exciting. We're really thrilled to be able to have the opportunity to go down and be a part of the ECAC Bowl Game. We've been to the national playoffs in 2010, and this will be our first postseason bowl game. And the guys are really excited. We were, saw the announcement, and guys just went crazy. And I think it's a great opponent as well. And we're just excited about getting down to Philadelphia.
Absolutely. Now, tell us a little bit about your season. 6-4, won your last two games. Just tell us how'd it go to get yourself into a bowl game situation.
Well, I think you always, anticipate having the undefeated season, and you want to win them all. And our guys just really, were shooting for the stars. We had a lot of kind of changeover with our offense and going from the triple option to more of a power spread kind of scheme. And so that was a bit of an unknown. And we came back from it, from being down in the first game and won in an overtime game against Maine Maritime. So that, really got us off to the right start. And, we also beat Merchant Marine Academy, which is a huge rival for us. And so we started off the season, good, and our defense has played strong. Also had a change in defensive coordinator, and so they're just kind of some unknowns. So and by the end we were really feeling good. We slipped up against a very good Husson team who's representing our conference in the national playoffs. They have a tremendous running back who's probably going to be an All-American, and just a phenomenal team there. And then kind of through the rest of the conference, we lost a couple of games by just a few points. One in overtime, one we lost at the very end on a field goal. And so, it was pretty close there. So, it's nice when, you were shooting for higher and you end up at 6-4 to be able to go to a bowl game like this and really kind of see the rewards of, you don't want to be rewarded for being close, but at the same time, we did have a great season, and really proud of our guys and glad we get to celebrate in this way, and hopefully get another win in the win column.
Absolutely. Now you get to the bowl game because in almost every team because you have good senior leadership. Tell us about some of the seniors on your team, if you would.
Sure, no doubt. Our captains on defense, we have two seniors that are our team captains on the defensive side. Brian Price, he's a 6'5", 210-pound defensive back who played corner most of the time, and we moved him into outside linebacker, safety. He's played a bunch of different positions for us. He leads the league in interceptions. He's just a physical presence out there on the field, and he's just done a great job. And he's also a good leader off the field as well. And we're just really excited about him. He's going to be going to the represent the United States at the Aztec Bowl, the Mexican Bowl, against their All-Stars later on December. Our other senior captain is Kendall Parker, who's from Georgia, North Carolina, and is just a really tremendously fast player. He's really struggled this year with a shoulder injury, and so he has played in spots, and he's just a really smart football player. But he's that guy who's still leading the team when he's not out there on the field, and just getting our guys heading the right direction. He's one of those guys that can. He hadn't been able to take a lot of hits in practice, and he's really, we've kind of had to lay off with the shoulder, but that hasn't affected his ability to be a great leader and for the guys to rally behind him. Nick Fischetti on the offense has done a tremendous job, of leading the offense, and he's kind of the energy guy for our team, and he really gets the guys going, keeps them headed in the right direction, and focused on what they need to be focused on. He's had a good year catching the ball, and he's moved out to a slot position. A couple other seniors on the team. We've got Andy Short, who came back for a fifth year, and he's had had a shoulder injury that he came back from, and he, is a tremendous tight end, leads pretty much all the tight ends in the conference in catches and points and yards and everything else. So he's been a real force for us as a blocker and as a catcher at the tight end spot, and tight end's brand new for us this year. So he's a big part of transitioning to the new offense. Another defensive senior, we have Corey Palladino. He's a big boy in the middle, plays nose for us, and just very disruptive. He hadn't had a lot of stats, but everybody knows where he's at, and he's one of those guys that knocks the offensive line back and really causes some problems by penetrating up front. He's just, you got to end up getting around him somehow, some way. And I don't want to leave anybody else out, but Eric Wallace playing at linebacker for us is a really smart, fast player. We're really going to miss his just speed and intelligence on the field. Next year, he's probably, I think, our third leading tackler, and he was out one game, missed a lot of games last year, but just one of those, he's a real quiet guy, but one of those real strong presences out on the field, and always makes himself known. So I think in the other department, it's John Arney as our punter. He's going to graduate from Maritime here, and with all the, every major statistical record in punting, he owns it. So it's pretty much, when you look at all the punting stats, he owns all the records. So it's just John Arney on there. And, he's done a great job for us this year, and he's also a leader there for our special teams unit. So we've got a lot of guys that we're really proud of, our senior class of 14. And, we're, hoping to send them out on the right note this weekend.
Absolutely. Well, it's a great opportunity to go down to Franklin Field. You mentioned that RPI, a school that you bump into on recruiting trails. They play their Division I ice hockey, of course. What can you tell us about the RPI football team?
I tell you, they're a really tough team up front. They've lost their quarterback in the Merchant Marine Academy game. And the quarterback that they brought in, a freshman from White Plains, is a guy that we talked to as well, and he's doing a really nice job for them. They're very physical up front. They've got a little number 18 receiver who catches about anything that comes his way, and they're kind of run by committee. They've got tons of guys. They bring them in there and they run the jet sweep. They run the power stuff inside. Have been kind of traditionally, coach has been pretty much an option guy, and they're not quite as much option as I was thinking I was going to see on the film, but it's more of but there's a lot of option in there. So we're going to have to play very disciplined. Their defense is probably the strong point of their team. They have a phenomenal defense, so our offense has their work cut out for them. A lot of really good players. Number 25 in the backfield has stood out for us as a safety. He's as a really good player, and they're always really good in the special teams game. I think we really match up well against them. I mean, we've had a tradition of having good special teams here, and they certainly have had some great kickers there as well, and sent one to the Dolphins a couple of years ago. So they're very well coached. They have high academic kids. I think it's going to be a really good matchup for us, and as far as a Liberty League team, for us to have that opportunity is going to be outstanding.
And Coach, we're always glad to visit and hear about the unique education opportunity here at Maritime. You graduate many people from the military, as well as many who go into commercial shipping opportunities. Just tell the audience a little bit about Maritime College.
Okay, we have three primary major areas. Engineering is a huge area for us, a lot of different engineering programs, and that's kind of our major thing. We also have a global business program. It's really kind of transportation and logistics, and the shipping industry is really moving everything around the world. So, that's our other major area, and then environmental sciences. So, oceanography, meteorology, marine biology are the minors in there, and so our environmental science program is our third area. And then on top of that, we have options to be regiment, which is they're pursuing a Coast Guard license to drive merchant ships or run the engineering plants on merchant ships. And those are probably our highest paying jobs coming out of Maritime College, and probably our highest job placement. There's a high need out there to man the merchant fleet. And then we also have a traditional program where they're not in the regiment, just like any other college, and they're pursuing a major in one of those three academic areas. And then on top of that, we also have the ROTC program. So Maritime College is the center for Navy Marine Corps ROTC in the New York City area. So students from Fordham and Columbia and the other colleges in the area come here to our campus for their Navy and Marine Corps. So we have about 7 guys on the team. They're involved in that. So a nice chunk of those guys, and always work real closely with them on things. So we definitely have a very unique niche here, and it's a great place for the right person.
Absolutely. Coach Clayton Kendrick-Holmes, the head coach of the Maritime College, will play down at Franklin Field in Philadelphia Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. against RPI in an ECAC Bowl game. And, Coach, great to see you. Great opportunity. Look forward to seeing you down in Philadelphia on Sunday.
That's right. We'll see you in Philly.
Our pleasure. This is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio at the Maritime College at Fort Schuyler, New York.